Okay, well, one bit of good news today is that we had another really good trade for the $1 million experiment. This is trade number three, and we're three for three at the moment. So what we have here is, let's zoom in on the ES. We've had a whole day of selling. This is Fed day, and it was just a big down day today. But this is now after hours. It's 4:30 Pacific time, so about 3 hours after the market closed. Looks like the selling has finally found a bit of a floor, and we've got at least the 15-minute candles. We're seeing three green candles, and I wasn't quite ready. You can see this. There was a green candle here, and it got a little bit of traction, but then gave up and came back down again. That often happens. So this second bounce is the one that seems like it's got a bit more legs to it. So I ended up getting in right at 66.71. So let's go and see if we can put that. Oops, this was supposed to be a one lot. And we had a one lot using the trailing stop on the 15. So let's go and put this in. This was at 66.71. Is this right? Is that what this is? I can't tell where this thing is. 372, 71. Yes. Okay. So let's let this go. I will set this to fast, and we'll let it go.
Order filled.
And so here we are. And this is 15 handles of risk. I actually would have backed it out a little bit to an extra couple, but it didn't matter anyway. It headed in the right direction. I spent a bit of time sort of bouncing back and forth. It wasn't an obvious slam dunk that this was going to work, but nevertheless, this seemed like it had potential, and the risk was quite manageable. So let's just let this play out here. Now I spent a fair amount of time. It was almost like a couple of hours. So if this was 4:30, it's probably about 2 hours before this thing finally. Well, it's more than that. It's 2.5 hours. It's probably the 3 hour mark before I finally exited this trade. But I mostly just let it do its thing, and I kind of ignored it, which tends to be the right thing to do anyway. I'm going to zoom in on this. Um, I I don't tend to make great decisions when I second guess myself when I'm in a trade. So, uh, I, you know, one thing I had been doing is when I've been trading at the same time I was trading on my other account, I was trading the NQ, and I actually manually moved the stop up to break even, and it took me out, and then went on to profit, and I wasn't in it. That just really annoys me. I shouldn't have done that. And so fortunately for this, I just left it alone, let it do its thing. There was no need for me to tinker with it. So once this moves 15 points in the right direction, it'll automatically move the stop to break even, and then it will start to trail the stop upwards towards our target at 30 points. And it'll trail it 15 points back. That way, you're going to get something. If you've made 15 points, as soon as you go to 16, it's going to move the stop to at least one. So at a very bare minimum, you're going to make $5 at a bare minimum. And as you'll see, it moves its way up. So let's let it play out here, and we'll watch how that works. So we're at 12, we're at 14, and one more push. Now we're at 15. Now it's 16, 17, 18. So it's actually we've now moved several points in the right direction. So we've now locked in three handles at least. And you can see as it moves up, it's moving this along with it. Now I'm going to go over here and look at the 5 minute, because this is actually, let me pause this for a second. How is it? 7:53. You know what? I think I might have missed it already. Let me go over here. What I was doing was I was trailing this. I was watching this on the 5 minute. And what I was doing, yeah, I've missed it already. I was trailing this. So while it trailed on its own, I actually moved this up, and I was trailing right up at the bottom of each preceding bar. And so these are the 5 minute bars. So I actually followed this right up to 66.92, and I put the sell in at 66.92. And that was a 21 point gain. So that way I just did that to lock in the gains. I didn't want to be giving anything back, because I could see already on the NQ at the same time it was starting to retrace off of a level that was starting to encounter resistance. So the ES would be doing the same. So I just followed the stop right up, and at the bottom of that bar, it took me out for a 21 point gain, which is $105. So you know what? I'll take it. It's better than a poke in the eye. So there we are. Third positive trade in a row.